Welcome to the state of the industry for the military reunion market. Each year, the Military Reunion Network conducts a survey to access the health and trends of the military reunion market. And here are the results from our 2023 survey. For those of you who are not familiar with the Military Reunion Network, our mission is to reduce veteran suicide by encouraging continued veteran connection through military reunions. While the Veterans Affairs annual suicide report indicates a reduction in suicides per day, the metrics for their reports have changed, skewing the data results year over year. We have been following and reporting on a independent study that was 5 years in the making, and this study tells a very, very different story. The independent study concludes that there's an estimated just over 40 or close to 40 losses of life through veteran suicide every day, and we believe that the accurate figures are closer to the independent study findings. If you are not familiar with our organization, we support our community through education, resource, and connection, and offer a wide variety of information to our hospitality and veteran members. The majority of our veteran support is free or available at reduced rates, and so we encourage you to reach out to us via email or phone and with your questions or your concerns, and check our website for a lot of different information on our resource page. With that, let's talk a little bit about the general reunion statistics. We have had a slight decline in the past year, although reunions are coming back. Now we're seeing, but year over year, there's been a slight decline. Over 15,000 annual reunions take place. They are planned by veteran volunteers. They're typically 4 days. The critical pieces are the hospitality space, as well as the banquet and memorial service. Their focus is on local attractions, with a blend or interest in military or historic attractions. They like to be about 40 miles from a major airport, and they are flexible with their date pattern, and this is an important component of the interest in booking and working with military reunions, their ability to book into need dates with our hospitality industry partners. As we're taking a look back, I wanted to show the slide of the preferences for the preferred months to hold reunions. This is our 2022 data. You can see pretty well across the board that our supplier and planner partners are pretty spot on their interest, with September and October being of great interest to both suppliers and planners. August, not as much, although suppliers would love to have more reunions in August. Planners are sticking more toward the fall. An interesting case, because this has changed a bit, I wanted to show the slides and trends of the supplier preferences as comparison for 2022 and 2023. You'll see in 2022, which is the blue, again, August, September, October, the most popular months. There has been a shift to April and June and November as well in 2023. So while 22 was pretty flat, April to July, 2023, April and June are now of much greater interest for our supplier partners. Looking at the reunion planner preferred month trends, they're pretty close, if not all spot on for September, as being the preferred month for 2022 and 2023. Things start to shift a little bit, not to be left behind from the suppliers. The planners are considering earlier months in the year as well. May and June specifically is more of an interest for them, and that might be a result of our supplier partners just asking the question, hey, can you move your reunion to an earlier month to fill a needs date? Looking at the 2023 preferred months side by side for suppliers and planners, planners in the blue, suppliers in the green, you'll see a bit more of a difference in September than there has been in the past. Historically for the fall. Going to our survey now to give you some information. We distribute the survey through a wide variety of outlets, Meeting Professionals International, Facebook, of course, LinkedIn. We do a lot of direct mail solicitation and reminders for people to take it. We had just shy of 7,000 respondents this year. The survey ran for about 4 weeks. And so for those of you that did take advantage of it and took the survey, we do appreciate it a lot. This really helps us to identify new trends that are coming up. As far as a breakdown as to who responded, the largest segment of the responses were the reunion planners and their committee members. Our efforts to increase connection in the veteran community this year has resulted in an increase of survey participation in that particular category. Again, our hospitality partners, our CVB and our hotel partners, again, thank you so much for your participation as well. Our survey is broken down into 2 parts. We have questions for our hospitality industry, and then we also have questions for the military reunion planners. So let's start with our supplier partners. You'll see this is the breakdown of our participants. People that answered other could have been shifted into an attraction category or a hotel category. A lot of times they said we're a military attraction, or we're a bed and breakfast, or we are a inn of some sort. They didn't recognize themselves as a hotel or a general attraction. We wanted to ask the question of the staffing status as compared to last year. We are definitely headed in the right direction, which is wonderful to see. We have a higher percentage of organizations in the hospitality industry that are full staffed. We have a lower percentage, of organizations that are looking to fill key positions. We also have a lower percentage of organizations that are having a tough time finding people to fill positions. One of the things that we did find is a few of the comments, the sales teams were down, positions were down, and they're not expected to be filled, which does increase some of the challenges at some organizations. And some of our destination management partners, our CVB partners might be at full staff, but they're also noticing that trends for their area, their support partners are still struggling with staff. So again, still issues out there in getting back to normal after COVID, but we are definitely headed in the right direction. We asked what the biggest challenge was as of March of this year when the survey was being conducted. Retention and hiring are 2 of the main issues, and the other category, they elected just to free flow and comment on specifics, and their responses that are in the other category could have fit into hiring and retention. We wanted to find out again what the status of the services and amenities that you offer. Again, this is great. We're trending in the right direction for services and amenities that are at the same level prior to the pandemic is increasing, and a reduction in the limitations of services and amenities on hours or offering. And it's just a whisper of organizations that have scaled back still. So we're definitely headed in the right direction there. We asked the question of how many of the 2022 reunions have contracted dates for 2023. While you see the majority of them have contracted, when we deep dive into the none of them category, you'll see the breakdown for the ones that have not booked yet, they're planning on it but don't have dates yet. or they're waiting to see what happens with the economy or other issues in the industry. So only as far as the military reunion network is concerned, there's only a small portion that we are concerned about that have canceled outright. As far as new leads go, we're also very excited about that. There's a very, very small percentage that has had none. So we are trending in the right direction as far as new and potential reunions since 2022, since last year. And this is a increase from previous years, and it is an indication that there's business is starting to come back. Going back to the conversation about preferred months, one of the new questions that we asked our supplier partners is, what is your preferred month for military reunions, and what is your second preferred month? And so for our supplier partners, September is first still, August second, and then October running a very close third. We wanted to find out if you're conducting site inspections or FAM tours in 2023, and it's very encouraging to say yes to both, and we're excited about that. We also asked the question of what's your preferred size group for your FAM, and it was very interesting to know that the majority of you like to have a smaller, intimate FAM. Historically, it has been, the more participants, the better, but now it is quality over quantity. So it is nice to see that trending happen. The challenges that you have in supporting military reunions, your overall cost going up is the first one, the purple bar. Having reunions work with the current pricing structure is definitely second. And then having the availability, when planners need it is also is running in third. I think that it's nice to see that staffing and supply chain issues historically last year and the year before have been greater issues, and now it's not as much of an issue for the hospitality industry. Some of the things that the hospitality industry would like reunion planners to know is attrition is going to happen. Meeting room rental is going to happen. The low food and beverage and room nights no longer justify complimentary meeting space. Hotels are getting away from allowing alcohol in the large meeting rooms and requiring reunions to either use private space, private guest rooms instead, or have the hotel manage the food and beverage in a hospitality suite or hospitality space if they use actually a meeting space. Hospitality industry would also like reunion planners to know that hotels can be creative in order to gain the business. And if reunion planners are more flexible, it can help reunion planners to get what you are looking for and what you need. So let's shift gears to the reunion planner questions. As of March of 2023, what's the status of your next reunion that you have on the books? And love to see it that over half of you have contracted. There's a sliver of you that have not quite contracted yet. And again, we always like to have an other category, and our reunion planners have taken that opportunity in the other category just to type out what their answer would have been rather than selecting contracted or planning for a future event. So, that is one of the reasons why the other category is so large. As far as preferred months for reunion planners, you'll see the preferred month historically and consistently is September, and followed by October for the second preferred month, and then we shift, as I mentioned before, to May and June. We asked our reunion planners if they have a website and they have a Facebook page. More of reunion planners have a Facebook page than website, and reunion planners that have a website don't necessarily have a Facebook page. Or they don't have both, so it's typically one or the other. We really are curious about this question every year, wanting to know if a new person plans the reunion, do they change the baton every year, or is there a consistent person that plans it? It is very nice to know that there is more consistency with the same volunteer veteran or a committee planning it year over year. This is so important because each time you're planning a reunion, you're gaining more understanding and more skill set on working with the hospitality industry. Are you considering conducting site inspections or FAM tours in 2023? We ask this question every year, and we have a new follow-up question that has been important to see the trending. So it's nice to know that reunion planners, almost 2/3 of you are getting back out there and participating in site inspections and attending FAM tours. But the question comes up, and the follow-up question is, what if you have never been to that location before? And it's very interesting to see how the responses change. There's a significant difference if they have never been to a destination. They're more inclined to go check it out if they have not been there. Here's our one and only question about COVID. And is it still a factor regarding your reunion planning process? And 64.23% of you responded it's not a factor anymore, which we absolutely love. We asked the question of reunion planners. We asked reunion planners about their concerns in planning reunions. It is no surprise hotel costs are front and center on their minds. And unfortunately, the hotel costs have a direct impact on the ability for people to attend. We asked a new question this year. We wanted to know if news reports on various cities across the country influence reunion planner decisions on holding a reunion there, even if the news reports might be exaggerated or skewed in any way. And you can see that there is some influence on their destinations and on their decisions on where they're going to be going. We wanted to follow that up and share with you some of the destinations that were mentioned by name. And so here is just a short list of some of the destinations. I would caution, however, as you're reading this list, that we have some phenomenal military reunion-minded destination partners that are connected with the destinations on this list. And I would like to remind everyone, using Seattle and New Orleans as examples, we have two wonderful partners, Seattle Southside and Seattle North Country. We also have partners Jefferson Parish and St. Tammany's Parish that are located in the New Orleans area. But all four of these locations are not in downtown. Seattle Southside, Seattle North Country are not downtown Seattle. Jefferson Parish and St. Tammany's Parish are not downtown New Orleans. So if you still are interested in going to those areas that are on that list, it is wise to understand that there are phenomenal partners that are outside of the reputation zone, if we can call it that, that are ready, willing, and able to support your reunion with great enthusiasm. And we know, and they know, that you'll have a wonderful time. Question we always ask, do you prefer to bring in alcohol into your hospitality space? And in the other category, they use just beer and wine, or they just use the bar. But yes, military reunions like to have alcohol in the hospitality space. And so the follow-up question is, well, what if you cannot bring it in? And over 70% of the respondents said they want to bring in alcohol, food, and beverage, but if they can't, they'll work with the hotel or they'll use the bar. Some have said they'll go somewhere else, but it is very difficult to find locations at times that will allow that based on state, county, or city laws in effect, or even hotel policy in effect. And if you have the perfect military reunion hotel, but they won't let you bring alcohol in, I would suggest working with a hotel. I mean, why start from scratch? And why start over and trying to find a property if you have a perfect one, and just work on that issue. Here are some year-over-year responses. We really thought we were headed in the right direction, and we have shifted again. There are many of you that are less military reunions will work with the hotel. More of you will use the bar, and less of you will go somewhere else. So I guess it's a positive, but it would be really, really nice to have the trending of 2023 show that military reunions will work with the hotel versus going somewhere else. We asked the question of how attendees travel to the reunion, and most fly if it's too far to drive. Some of our military reunion planners say it's a split between flying and driving. If it is an 8-hour or less drive, most will drive. Some will drive to it, and some will drive regardless of where the reunion is taking place. We asked the question this year of the interest. If you're going to be flying, is there an interest in partnering with a specific airline? And if so, is there a specific airline you're interested in partnering with? So you can see that Southwest Airlines is the most popular airline for military reunions and the one of most interest to them. And again, this survey respondents replied in the month of March of 2023 to this question, to give you a sense of timing. And the military reunion is network. And the Military Reunion Network is very proud to announce that Southwest Airlines will be our airline partner for the 2024 Military Reunion Educational Summit, which will be taking place in Fairfax, Virginia. We will be receiving code information and detailed information from them as their schedule becomes public for 2024, which should be in the end of this year. So we're very, very excited to have them on board with us again. We asked the question of reunion planners when contracting with a hotel, what items are important to you? A very, very good group rate is helpful and almost critical for them, because if the rate is too high, that reduces the ability for some attendees to come, and therefore reduces the overall success of the reunion itself. They would love to have complimentary hospitality space and free parking, followed by breakfast included with the rate. An attrition clause that's fair, and a full service hotel are also important to them. And then airport transportation is also critical. So in closing, just to give you a few points, we did have a dip with military reunions, but the military reunions are increasing slightly. Planners are more concerned about the economy versus COVID. And reunion planners are looking for places to hold their reunion. They are aware that prices are going up. For our hospitality partners, please know that hospitality space is critical to the military reunion. Their attitudes on bringing in food and beverage and alcohol into the hospitality space is shifting. They are very interested in familiarization tours and site inspections, specifically if they have not been to that destination before. To our reunion planners, CVBs and hotels want you back. Very interested in partnering with you. And to everyone, timing is everything. So have some flexibility with the dates that you're interested in booking military reunions, having flexibility in dates that you can bring your reunion to a destination or hotel. It's so critically important, and it's such a strong part of the partnership between our destinations and our military reunions. So Well, there you have it. That's the state of the military reunion market for 2023. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Hope you learned a little bit. Also, wanted to thank our veterans for your service to our country and your continued volunteerism in keeping your military reunions going. We appreciate you all so much. Thank you.